that PTI Chief Imran Khan wanted to create such a law and order situation that might trigger clashes between the people and law enforcement agencies. Addressing a press conference, the minister accused Imran Khan of planning to spread chaos in the name of the Long March and cited press conference of Faisal Wada, leaked audio of Ali Amin Gandapur and the statement of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Minister for Higher Education Kamran Bhangash, who could be heard speaking about bloodshed of innocent people in the federal capital and bringing weapons and ammunition in the Long March. The minister said the government and allied parties decided to provide the tear gas shells and rubber bullets to the personnel of the police and frontier constabulary who would perform duties on front line. But after certain evidences of collecting weapons, ammunition and hiring persons for creating chaos by PTI, the minister said that it would be requested to Prime Minister and the allied parties for permission of giving weapons and ammunition to the security personnel so that they could protect the state, city and themselves from the armed group. He said the politics of the PTI leader, whose ugly face has been unmasked by Gandapur's audio leaks, was aimed at mongering hate and dividing the nation. He said that no political or non-political group would be allowed to damage the economy and stability of the country. He asked Chief Secretaries and IGPs of Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa to stand with law and constitution after the clear evidences of planning by the group of assault capital. Rana Sanaullah hailed the apolitical role of the armed forces and for its commitment to perform their role as per the law and constitution of the country.
PMLN Vice President Mariam Nawaz has said that the politics of Imran Khan had been rejected by the people who completely distanced themselves from his part-time Long March, which failed to produce any result. Addressing a news conference, Mariam Nawaz said Imran Khan has played his last card by holding a part-time Long March, but it turns out to be a flop show as the nation has refused to defend his lies and false narrative of the regime change conspiracy. She said Imran Khan thought that he would succeed in removing the current government by holding a Long March, but it did not happen. Mariam Nawaz said the prime objective of Long March is to prevent Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif from appointing the new army chief. She said the appointment would be made by the Prime Minister in the line and the Constitution and law of Pakistan. Mariam Nawaz said the march of Imran Khan had nothing to do with the people's welfare but aimed at creating chaos and anarchy in the country. She regretted the ruthless use of the provincial resources in the Long March by Imran Khan. Mariam Nawaz said Imran Khan resorted to the Long March when his first plan got failed and the people came to know about the reality of false narrative of the regime change conspiracy. She said he thought that he would mislead the people with his lies, but he was mistaken as the people had rejected his Long March and lies. She criticized Imran Khan for launching verbal attack on the state institutions for his political gains. His criticism of the Chief Election Commissioner was deplorable. The PMLN leader regretted that Imran Khan's criticism of the state institutions was being highlighted in the media, which was praising him for his despicable acts.
Minister for Information and Broadcasting Mariam Aurangzeb has said that the general elections will be held on time with accordance to the Constitution. In a televised message, she regretted the statement of PTI Chairman Imran Khan regarding imposition of martial law, saying democracy will flourish in the country and it will continue to serve the masses. She said that the PTI Chairman does not want elections, democracy and peace and development, but anarchy, chaos and bloodshed. She said frustration is apparent from the statements of Imran Khan. The Information Minister said the people of Pakistan stand with the rule of law and constitution. She said the PTI is preparing for a bloody march, but the state is fully cognizant of its responsibilities to protect the citizens. Every step will be taken to secure the people. She said the people cannot be pressured through bullying, threats and statements. The Information Minister said that the PMLN knows how to deal with the Long March and Imran Khan will go home before reaching the federal capital. Mariam Aurangzeb said Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has announced a historic Kisan package for the development of agriculture sector. She said the Prime Minister has given directions for early implementation of the package. As regards Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's visit to China, the Information Minister was confident that this will give further impetus to the CPEC envisioned by Chinese President Xi Jinping and former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. She regretted the multi-billion corridor project was delayed in the last 4 years. She said we have removed obstacles in the way of Chinese investment and put on track the projects facing delays.
Moreover, Minister for Climate Change Senator Shahri Rahman has slammed PTI Chief Imran Khan for a statement inciting the martial law. In a flurry of the tweets on her official Twitter handle, the federal minister condemned Imran Khan's statement of imposing martial law. Shahri Rahman said Imran Khan's statement of imposing martial law is condemnable. A politician who claims 26 years of political struggle does not say martial law should be imposed. She said a democratic politician did not encourage the institutions to impose martial law. She said Imran Khan is provoking the entire nation to violate the constitution.
Minister for Poverty Alleviation and Social Safety Shazia Murray vehemently condemned the statement of PTI Chief Imran Khan that they would go against him on the issue of his martial law statement as per constitution and took it up on the floor of assemblies, as well as resolutions would be also tabled if needed. Addressing a press conference, she said that Imran Khan was the friend of General Pervez Musharraf and he had voted for Musharraf in referendum. She further said that Imran Khan was the polling agent of Pervez Musharraf. Shazamari said that Imran Niazi adventured in 2014 and his sit-in ended when students of APS embraced martyrdom.
The United States has once again rejected the allegations of the American conspiracy peddled by ousted Imran Khan and reiterated that propaganda, misinformation and disinformation will be countered by information. During press briefing at the U.S. State Department, spokesman Ned Price said that there is no truth to the allegations being hurled by Imran Khan during his long march towards Islamabad. He said such propaganda will not be allowed to get in the way of the important bilateral relationship with Pakistan.
Now, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has announced a mega 1.8 trillion rupees farmers relief package. Tomorrow, let's watch the following report by our Lahore correspondent Ali Danish.
Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has announced a 1.8 trillion rupees farm relief package to stimulate farm production and ensure an adequate level of farmers' income, particularly in the flood-hit areas of the country. The Kisan package ensures provision of free seeds, 1,800 billion rupees interest-free loans for farmers and agriculture sector entrepreneurs, billions in subsidies, reduction in electricity and fertilizer prices, modernization of farm equipment, import of urea and tractors, among other things. The loans are 400 billion rupees more than the ones provided in the last fiscal year. Lahore Chambers of Commerce and Industry President Kashif Anwar spoke to us about the package's significance.
It was very important, the package the Prime Minister has announced. It was the need of the hour, and every farmer was looking at the Prime Minister and the government for the relief package, and we appreciate that the Prime Minister has announced relief for the duty-free tractors. They have reduced CKD on the tractors, and we appreciate that the import of wheat is allowed, and we are as we are heading towards very shortages of food, and we appreciate that the Prime Minister has taken a timely decision.
10.6 billion rupees have been allocated for small farmers across the country, while rupees 8 billion will be given to small farmers in the flood-hit areas. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has said that economic development heavily depends on agriculture development, and only agriculture can transform the economy within 6 months. Adding the Kisan package would help reduce imports and help all farmers, especially those affected by the devastating floods. Reporting for PTV World, this is Ali Danish.
Well, President Dr. Arif Alvi has held telephonic conversations with the families of the martyred Jawans of the Pakistan Army who laid down their lives during the Khan attack on 20th of October. The President expressed his condolences with the bereaved families of Sawar Mohammad Israr and Naik Sajid Hussain. He also paid rich tributes to the martyred personnel and said that the nation would always be indebted to the sacrifices of Shuhada who laid down their lives for the protection of their motherland. The President also prayed for the high ranks of the departed souls and for the grant of fortitude to the bereaved families.
Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa visited the Army Air Defence Command headquarters in Rawalpindi. He paid rich tribute to the supreme sacrifices of officers and men of Pakistan Army Air Defence and appreciated the training standards achieved. The Army Chief also emphasized the importance of air defense in today's warfare and the need for continuous training and upgradation of modern air defense weapon systems in view of the evolving threats. Earlier on arrival, General Bajwa was received by Commander Army Air Defense Commandant Lieutenant General Mohammad Zafar Iqbal.
Now, French Ambassador Nicolas Gallet called on Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa in Rawalpindi. During the meeting, matters of mutual interest, including defense and security cooperation and overall regional security situation, were discussed. The Army Chief said Pakistan values its relations with France and we earnestly look forward to enhance mutually beneficial multi-domain relations based on the common interests. The visiting dignitary expressed his grief over the devastation caused by floods in Pakistan and offered sincere condolence to the families of the victims. The ambassador also appreciated Pakistan's efforts for regional stability and pledged to play its role for further improvement in diplomatic cooperation with Pakistan at all levels.
Ambassador of the Sultanate of Oman to Pakistan, Dr. Al-Sheikh Muhammad Umar Ahmad Al-Mahroon, also called on Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa in Rawalpindi. During the meeting, matters of mutual interest, regional security situation and partnership in various fields were discussed. Army said that Pakistan values its brotherly relations with the Gulf countries and Pakistan-Oman relations are close, warm, cordial and deep. He also expressed that two countries have great potential for cooperation in defense and maritime security, which could become a binding factor in our strategic partnership. The ambassador of Oman expressed his grief over the devastation caused by the floods in Pakistan and offered sincere condolence to the families of the victims. The visiting dignitary also appreciated Pakistan's efforts for regional stability and pledged to play its role for future and further improvement in diplomatic cooperation with Pakistan at all levels.
Now, Command and Staff Conference of Pakistan Navy concluded at Naval Headquarters, Islamabad. This conference was chaired by Chief of the Naval Staff, Admiral Mohammad Amjad Khan Niazi. During the conference, matters related to the geostrategic milieu, national security, operational preparedness, training and welfare of the troops were reviewed. Comprehensive briefing on important ongoing and future developmental projects of Pakistan Navy was also given to the Chief of the Naval Staff. The Naval Chief also expressed his confidence over the combat readiness and significant contributions of the Navy in maritime domain. He emphasized on the strengthening of the maritime security and maintaining the combat readiness as to effectively respond to any aggression against Pakistan.
Speaker National Assembly Raja Parvez Ashraf held a meeting with Macro Gunther held of Frederick Ebert Stiftung in Asia. Desk Officer for Pakistan Benjamin Renchenbach and its country director Hegwis Sinels at the Parliament House in Islamabad. National Assembly Speaker appreciated recent gender budgeting initiative of Women's Parliamentary Caucus Pakistan in collaboration with FES Pakistan. Speaker said Pakistan and Germany enjoy cordial relations based on mutual trust and a diversity of views on international issues. Talking about importance of parliamentary exchanges, National Assembly Speaker said that parliamentary outreach is essential to build trust of common people in this sacred institution. Apprising about the losses and damages due to recent devastating floods in Pakistan, the Speaker Raja Parvez Ashraf said global cooperation is required to tackle the challenge of climate change and save humanity from its worst effects. Any speaker said that Pakistan has lost millions of dollars and hundreds of lives due to the devastating floods. He said that Pakistan is the less contributor to the climate change but the worst affected of this global challenge. He also said that the international organizations need to come forward to support Pakistan in this regard. He also extended gratitude to the people and government of Germany for their generous cooperation in flood relief efforts in Pakistan, underlining the support of FES for its parliamentary outreach program, especially its cooperation with CPEC Parliamentary Committee, and a speaker stressed the need to enhance such programs. On this occasion, FES head for Asia and Pacific extended his gratitude to any speaker for his cooperation. He also apprised Speaker about the different programs of FES in Pakistan to support Parliament and especially its recent program of gender budgeting in Women's Parliamentary Caucus Pakistan.
Well, also a delegation of Berlin's Friedrich Ebert Foundation led by the head of Asia Department, Mirko Gunther, along with the country director, Dr. Nails, and senior program officer Humayun Khan visited PTV News Islamabad Center. The delegation was received by current Director Current Affairs on Abbas Sahi, along with senior officials of PTV News and Current Affairs. The delegation visited different departments at Islamabad Center, including News and Current Affairs, PTV World, Engineering, IT Department. They were briefed on the working of the various editorial and productions-related processes involved in the transmission of PTV News and PTV World. The role of media in strengthening the democracy and contemporary trends in journalism were also discussed at the occasion. The Friedrich Ebert Foundation, established in 1925 and headquartered in Bonn and Berlin, FES has offices and projects in over 100 countries. It is Germany's oldest organization to promote democracy, political education, and promote students of outstanding intellectual abilities and personality. The cooperation between Pakistani organizations and FES began in the middle of the 1980s. In 1990s, the FES established its own Pakistan office in Islamabad.
Meanwhile, Sardar Ayaz Sadiq has assumed the office of Minister for Law and Justice. He visited the Ministry of Law and Justice in Islamabad and interacted with the officers. Sardar Ayaz Sadiq also held a meeting with Minister of State for Law and Justice Shahadat Awan and Parliamentary Secretary Mehnaz Akbar Aziz and discussed various matters pertaining to the Law and Justice Division.
Pakistan Railways would receive the first batch of 46 new coaches from China next month, which would provide modern travelling facilities to the passengers. According to the Pakistan Railways official, out of the total 230 coaches, 46 will be provided as completely built units, and the remaining 184 will be manufactured in the country by the department's engineers and technical staff under the supervision of the Chinese experts. Meanwhile, Pakistan Railways has decided to restore Chenab Express train, which was suspended due to the recent floods across the country. Now, according to Pakistan Railways authorities, the train would resume service from Havelia to reach Karachi via Rawalpindi, Sargodha and Shorkot from 10th of this month.
The 75th Independence Day of Gilgit-Baltistan is being celebrated today with great enthusiasm and national fervor. People will recall the sacrifices of their forefathers and tell the present generation about the invaluable freedom achieved as a result of those sacrifices. The main event will be held in Chinar Bagh, Gilgit, which will be graced by President Dr. Arif Alvi as chief guest. On November the 1st, 1947, the people of Gilgit-Baltistan raised the flag of their freedom against the Kashmiri Maharaja, declaring an independent state and joining Pakistan. In commemoration of this day, there is a grand celebration every year. The grand celebrations will feature various traditional and cultural events along with rallies called out by the all political parties.
Pakistan has reaffirmed that the Jammu and Kashmir dispute will remain on the world body's agenda until the Kashmiri people are allowed to exercise their right to self-determination. This stance was presented by Pakistan's Deputy Permanent Representative to the United Nations, Amir Khan, while speaking in a debate on right of the people to self-determination in the General Assembly's Third Committee. He deplored that the millions of people, including Kashmiris, continue to live under alien domination and foreign occupation. Amir Khan said right to the self-determination must be exercised freely, cannot lapse with time, and must not be obfuscated or eclipsed by conflating it with terrorism.
The NUST Institute of Policy Studies held an international webinar on the Russia-Ukraine war and its implications for the future of Eurasian geopolitics with the collaboration of Center for Middle East Studies, a leading Turkish think tank. The webinar was attended by senior security analysts, veteran diplomats, experts, and students from Pakistan and Turkey. The first keynote speaker, Professor Ahmed Yücel, Director Orsam talked about the impact of the ongoing conflict on the Middle East. He identified irreconcilable positions of great powers as one of the main causes of the current war. He also stressed the importance of Greater Pakistan-Turkey cooperation for peace and progress. The second keynote speaker, former Ambassador Javed Hussain, gave a detailed historical background of the conflict. He stated that the failure of the United States, NATO and Russia to come to a shared understanding about regional security and disregard of the assurances given to Russia in the aftermath of the Cold War produced the set of conditions that eventually culminated in the current conflict. The keynote addresses were followed by an interactive discussion session. In his closing remarks, Dr. Ashfaq Hassan Khan, Principal, NUS School of Social Sciences and Humanities, and Director General NIPS talked briefly about Living Under Hybrid War, a book that he had recently edited. He used interesting insights from the paradigm of hybrid warfare to make sense of the Russia-Ukraine war. He urged the participants to see things broadly in an interconnected manner for better understanding. The webinar was moderated by Director NIPS, Brigadier Retired Amir Yaqub, whereas Sobia was the coordinator of the event.
On to Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir now, where Indian troops in there once again continued acts of state terrorism, martyred 14 Kashmiris during the month of October. 6 of the slain Kashmiris were martyred in fake encounters in the custody by the occupation forces. Now, during the period, Indian forces arrested 47 people and destroyed a house during 195 cordon and raids in different areas of the territory.
Art is a medium through which human beings express their human creative skill and imagination. An exhibition titled Karachi Biennale is underway in Karachi, typically in a visual form such as painting, forms or sculpture, producing works appreciated primarily for their beauty of emotional power. More details in this report by Ali Asghar Arbab.
Art is not only language, but it is a medium of communication that speaks through artwork, sculptures, and now visual art about different aspects of life and universe. The work of a Swiss visual artist, Mr. Mark Lee, displays in Karachi Biennale exhibition at Indus Valley School of Art and Design in Karachi. The piece of visual and virtual art shows and combines the live streaming of different digital platforms through internet on single screen. Mr. Mark Lee tells the importance of artwork in his audio interview.
Searches on real time and makes a presentation what's going on now at this particular place. It searches on YouTube, Twitter and Flickr in a radius of 50 kilometers, and you see all the information around this 50 kilometers. Now when you search a country or a city in Africa, of course it looks different than when you choose Islamabad or Karachi, but at the same time you see so many common things.
Mr. Mark Lee enjoyed the interaction with the people of Pakistan and praised their hospitality.
I guess because they are very used to tourists, but in Pakistan there are not many tourists, and people very much welcome me, and they gave me so many things for free. Even I was kind of shocked to get, I go to the old city, they give me free food. Sometimes the driver even don't want any money, said, oh, you are my guest, you come here from long way, and I don't want money. So I'm really kind of confused and thrilled.
The curator of gallery, Ms. Shiza, called it an amazing form of visual art.
Sound collages from Twitter, YouTube and Flickr. You get the live stream of that place at the same time where you are standing, and the place can be from any country, any city. You can choose it from the map.
This Biennale exhibition will continue till 13th of this month, where the work of national and international artists is displayed. Ali Asghar Arbab, PTV World, Karachi.
On to the international front now. A man has been charged with attempting to kidnap senior U.S. politician Nancy Pelosi and assaulting her husband. The man is accused of breaking into the couple's San Francisco home early on Friday and assaulting Paul Pelosi with a hammer. The motive is being investigated, but police say it was not a random act. The Department of Justice charged the suspect, who has been named as David DePape, with the 2 violations of federal law, including assaulting a family member of a U.S. official in retaliation for the performance of their duties and also attempted kidnap for and of Mrs. Pelosi. San Francisco's District Attorney Brooke Jenkins also brought 6 charges, including attempted murder and elder abuse, and added there may be further charges. He said the attack appears to be politically motivated and the suspect will face parallel prosecutions.
On to the Ukrainian front now, where 3 grain-loaded cargo ships left Ukrainian ports, according to the center overseeing the implementation of a deal brokered by Turkey and the United Nations. The Istanbul-based International Coordination Center said these movement of these vessels has been agreed by the Ukrainian, Turkish and United Nations delegations. The Russian delegation has been informed. On the other hand, Russia fired 4 missiles into the southern Ukrainian port city of Mykolaiv, demolishing half an apartment building, a school, and killing at least 1 resident. Russian President Vladimir Putin said missile strikes on several Ukrainian cities on Monday were in response to a drone attack on Moscow's fleet in Crimea that he blamed on Ukraine.
Russian President Vladimir Putin said that trilateral talks between the leaders of Russia, Armenia and Azerbaijan had been useful, but that no deal had been struck in their bid to kickstart peace negotiations between the 2 ex-Soviet neighbors over the disputed Karabakh region. In the southern Russian city of Sochi, Putin said a joint statement had been reached in which the sides acknowledged they had been unable to agree on everything.
Now, the United States and South Korea began one of their largest combined military air drills, with hundreds of warplanes from both sides staging mock attacks 24 hours a day for the better part of a week.
World leaders will gather in Egypt on November the 6th for the COP27 summit, with compensation for countries most affected by climate change set to be a key topic. This year's UN climate summit in Sharm el-Sheikh is not expected to yield a landmark deal like the one struck at the COP26 summit last November in Glasgow, which asked countries to do much more to curb planet-warming carbon emissions. But host nation Egypt has said it hopes to make financial assistance for vulnerable countries a priority for the talks.